I'm going to be doing a tasting of Mundane IPAs today. Ooh, that's a big boy. We got a few Voodoo Rangers, a Sierra Nevada, Founders IPA, Sloop Juice Bomb, some Goose IPA, Athletic Brewing, and Lagunitas. You don't worry about the Mavs hat, guys. I was only a Mavs fan when Luka Doncic was there. Stopped watching the NBA after Nico Harrison fucked it up for me. IPAs are great for any occasion. Just kidding, not for any occasion, but I personally have it when I play volleyball or firing up the grill. That bitter taste that most people hate is quite exciting to me. It is winter in upstate New York, and I would rather do it with a nice scotch or a porter, but inexplicably, I'm tasting IPAs to look a bit different. Now enjoy. Just for information, I got Goose and Juice as my baseline. Alright, so let's open up the Goose and keep it as one of my controls as part of this science experiment. Man, it looks like it's my first time at a frat party. Ignore the spillage for my sake and please still like my content. I love Goose, but all the kids at home under 21 never chug IPAs or else it would lead to a bad time. I was a beer Olympics connoisseur when I was in my 20s, and using IPAs instead of Bud Light for drinking games is an absolute crime that people should definitely go to jail for. And now for my second control, which is Sloop Juice Bomb. If you are anywhere near Poughkeepsie, please check out the Sloop Brewery. It is stuck in the back lot of IBM and looks a little bit industrial, but I guarantee it's a good time. Alright, now that's a much better pour. Still not the best. Not the best. It'll do for the purpose of this video. I'll arrange these beers according to alcohol content, with Athletic Brewing being the least at less than 0.5% and Voodoo Ranger being the highest at about 7.5% alcohol content. I'll still pick Juice Bomb over Goose even when displaying the median of this current rating of IPAs. Juice Bomb comes with a lot of memories, which gives it a slight edge even though the beer is a bit more bitter. The Goose tastes a bit like my wife's perfume with a bit lower alcohol content. Now let's see how all these beers fare. Alright, so the first beer is Athletic Brewing Wild IPA. It's about 65 calories and 14 grams of carbs with less than 0.5% alcohol. The tagline of this beer is crispy, piney, and citrusy, but I think it's just fucking gross, and my wife agrees as well. It tastes like a mix of water and urine in my humble opinion. If an alcoholic needs to stop drinking, let this be the only option. The drinking will come to a close. So the IPA we have next is Founders All Day IPA at about 4.7% alcohol content and 42 IBUs, which stands for International Bitterness Unit, which I think is a bit of bullshit because the number can go up to 1,000, so 42 means that it's not bitter at all, and I think that's a bit bullshit. So the tasting notes, according to Google, are bright, refreshing, citrusy, and floral with a clean, dry, and slightly bitter finish. It seems to be used for casual, long-duration drinking sessions, but my best way to describe this is It's a good thing I drank it after the Run Wild IPA because this is extremely refreshing. But if I did drink this after a Juice Bomb, I would put it much less, but I'll keep it right in the middle. This is a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which is 5.6% ABV and 38 IBUs. Flavor and aroma is grapefruit and pine notes with a solid, slightly sweet caramel malt backbone. And the appearance is a deep amber or copper color with a foamy off-white head and good lacing. The key ingredient is whole cone Cascade hops. I couldn't taste this beer at first. I can't tell if the Founder IPA ruined the taste or if this is tasteless, so I had to go in for a second dip. I'll give the higher alcohol content the edge, though. Alright, so the next IPA we have is an absolute banger, which is a Lagunitas IPA at 6.2% alcohol content, West Coast style, originating from California. A C hop forward beer, which means that it's Cascade, Centennial, Chinook, Simcoe hops. that balances strong hop bitterness with a solid caramel malt backbone. So expect flavors of grapefruit, pine resin, and light toasted malt. And obviously I'm reading this off of Google. And the aroma is citrus, pine, and subtle tropic fruit. Tropical fruit. All I know is this IPA is my fucking jam. And who will not enjoy this? And I will put this in front of Goose, but I still need to see a bit more before I put it over Sloop Juice Bomb. So all the IPAs that we have left so far are Voodoo Rangers, and the next one is a Voodoo Rangers Sweet Rye Juicy IPA, which is 6.5% alcohol, hazy, juicy IPA from New Belgium Brewing. And this has about 25 IBUs, and who gives a shit about the hops? Let's just go to the taste profile, which is characterized by a bright, tropical, mango-forward notes, often compared to a mango cream soda, and the mouthfeel is smooth with a soft velvety texture due to the use of oats and wheat. And guys, this one might be one of my favorite IPAs starting now. Absolutely smooth. This doesn't even taste like an IPA. You can't taste any bitterness unless you like that as part of your profile. I would actually go with this as one of my favorite IPAs that I've ever had in my life. And I would definitely put this in front of Juice Bomb. And it tastes more like a cider than it does an IPA. And if you do like that harsh flavor, then this is not the one that you would want. But I love this one. I'm going to take a small hiatus and try the Sierra Nevada again. I feel like I didn't appreciate the taste well enough. And after giving it another taste, I think I want to put it in the same place as the Goose IPA. I'm even blocking it. But after tasting the Founders, I think I'm moving that way down. Way down, close to the Athletic Brewing. That's probably still harsh, but, we'll go with that. The next one we have is a New Belgium Voodoo Ranger IPA at 7% ABV. The flavor profile is tropical fruit, pineapple, and citrus. Man, everything has grapefruit or orange or something like that with a slight refreshing bitterness. IBU is 50, so this one is a lot more bitter than the sweet one. And I think this is very Juice Bomb-ish. But I think it's still smooth enough that it's superior to a Lagunitas, which I gave another taste. And I'm putting this right in between that. Still solid, very solid. Voodoo Ranger is excellent, but just doesn't cross over that Juice Bomb. All right, keep going on with the Voodoo Rangers. The next one we have is a Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA at 7.5% ABE, New England style, from, as usual, New Belgium Brewing. This one has a tropical and citrusy pineapple, melon, lemon, no grapefruit apparently, with a smooth finish and low to moderate bitterness. I do not see IBUs for this, but honestly, it's getting pretty close to, like, some of these IPAs are kind of getting, you can mix and match them, except for the sweet juicy one, which might not even taste like an IPA to some people, and honestly is quite dangerous on a Friday night to wake up with a hangover on a Saturday. But I would still go under the sweet juicy IPA, but definitely better than a Juice Bomb, just because I think the alcohol content should definitely get the edge, because that's what we're trying to do, right? Trying to get drunk. All right, next. The final one, and it's last but not least, the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA at a bold 9% ABV, which is a DIPA, double IPA, and has an extremely strong hop profile at 70 IBUs. Now let's check out the flavor profile, which is hop forward with dominant fresh cut pine, citrus, and subtle lemon peel piquancy, balanced by a light bready maltiness. What the fuck does that mean? All right, so I guess that just means there's a lot of hop. Appearance is clear, golden to copper. I mean, that's expected because it is a double IPA, and kind of overrated. Though I think maybe the alcohol content is a bit too much that it's kind of masking the maybe the hop forward is not my jam, and maybe it's a bit too thick and not as enjoyable enough. Still, I would still put it better than a Juice Bomb in the sense that bitterness, it still has a very smooth, the backdrop is quite smooth for the high hop profile. So I would still put it in front of a Juice Bomb. And so the the major takeaway with this whole with this tasting is that Voodoo Ranger is an excellent IPA, and maybe I'm gonna convert. Here are the rankings, and the Sweet Juicy IPA is going to be a staple of my life until my liver finally gives out. But this was a hell of an examination and a hell of a way to get through a Sunday afternoon before a winter storm. I think my wife and I will spend the rest of the day attempting to crush some beer and rewatch Breaking Bad. Thanks for watching. My name is Neelish Balaji, and for more content, please check me out at yippee-ki-yay.com. Bye.